It's been wild. I've lost a lot of friends. I've had breakups because like people would be like, hey, how can we, you're still in media. So, people would get to see what you do. A lot of people just talking to me because they think that I'll be very cool working in this industry, and then realizing that I'm as ordinary or as like nonchalant as any second person, and then that breaks their bubble. And then they're like, oh, you know what, she's not as exciting as I thought she would be. So it's just like if people start perceiving you in a very different manner, which if you are not, and if you're still hell-bent on having a group of people around you, then it starts impacting you. But with me, the change was because I was meeting so many new people and it's such a dynamic industry that it stopped making a difference. I've lost a lot of people. And now, most of the time people call me is because they need something from a sexual point of view rather than just saying like, hey, you know what, let's go and hang out. So I think it's been an amalgamation of a lot of things together, not to be pinpointed at one incident, but this is what I've chosen, and nobody put a gun point to my head that you have to do this. So this is what I've chosen for myself.
Thank you, Shakun, for sharing that. Right, and it is very personal to me also because, I think gender also plays a role here. Like as a man, when I moved to the Netherlands, and I was still working in an organization, what I'm doing is almost talking about fears and challenges daily. But then as a man, I was still working in an organization, and I remember once some colleagues, like one of my female colleagues, were talking about their pregnancy with both male and female colleagues, and they were talking about like the moment of giving birth in all its details. And I was not part of the conversation, but just sitting there was so uncomfortable for me that I had to get up and go away and then come back. And this was like one of the, I think maybe in the beginning of when I moved here, and just how seeing that something which it makes you so uncomfortable is so normal for somebody that they can talk about it loudly and they can talk about it without doing anything else. And like this is the clash of the cultures, and especially as you shared in your own story as well, right? So, and then later on I witnessed the birth of my own son. It's pretty normal here, it's still very unusual in India, and so that led me to have that courage, or to even the grounding to say that it's okay, right? This is, as you said, this is health. This is not taboo. This is not right or wrong in any way. And so how have you found that grounding or that courage to actually go out, even at the risk of losing friends or losing relationships, and continue to move forward in the direction that you want to go?
I've been asking, and I've asked this question to myself multiple times, that why am I doing this? And the answer has always been, at the end of the day, after my 12, 13, 14 hours shift, so to say, when I lie down in the bed, I have a smile on my face. I know that we are onto something big. And what we are building is like we are in a position to make it, and if we play all our cards right, that this is going to stay on even after Shakun has passed. 100, 200, 500 years after Shakun is no more there. And that was what I was always searching for. So you have to gauge, you have to give something to gain something. And with age also what happens is then you start realizing if people cannot stay with you, then those are not the right kind of people that you want in your life. So I just think the motivation is after every morning I'm ready to work. Every night I'm sleeping and like, okay, fine, what morning's going to come? What is the new problem that's coming? And whenever I talk, and people have told me that I'm always smiling when I talk about my work, even after so long, even after so many deterrents. Like, I don't think so any other profession, when you start doing your profession, you will not get a bank account. You won't be able to do any activity properly because there's so many issues. So there's like so much to learn here, but it makes you so strong that you become a different person altogether. And I really thank TickleLife because of this. I've become a very different person. I've become so strong, but I've also become very empathic to people, because empathy comes because then you see all these people who are working in this industry and they're doing so well, And even some people are not even able to make money, but they really want to make the difference. That's what's so exciting.